It's exciting. And it's a model that just works every time when you go deep on understanding what those wants and needs are.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So Jason, tell us about when you decided to open your first business for real. I think you had the experience when you were a kid that you built that business. Something that you knew from the early age is that you want to have leverage. That you knew that if you start that business and you do all this job by yourself, it's gonna be hard. You have it very clear you don't want that anymore. But what was your first business? How you identified the market, and why made you think that you can actually make money?
Pros. So I have two first businesses, right? So my first one, I was in college. So I went to Penn State University. And again, I was in the theater department, right? So I had a big scene shop where I could build stuff and all of that kind of stuff that I had available to me that most people didn't. In my dorm room, it was very narrow and very tall. And I hated that there was like no room. Like you walked in, there was like a closet, a little space, a desk, and your bed. And that was it. There was no room to like hang out or sit. And so I was like, what if my bed was up higher and I could have like a couch underneath it? That would be cool. And so I built this freestanding loft system that went in there, and I could have both beds were actually up high on basically freestanding legs, nothing in the middle. And then I was able to go downtown and get a little couch on one side. We got a little dresser with a TV on the other side. And we created this awesome environment in my dorm room. And I built all this in the scene shop, right?
Wow.
The cool thing, there's like scenic artists, people that can like paint stuff to make garbage look real, right? So they took this wood that I had and they painted it. It looked amazing. It looked like it was like expensive wood, but it was scraps, right?
Wow.
And so I installed it in my dorm room, and people started like walking by. We had the door open. They would see it. They'd be like, holy crap, where did you get that? I'm like, I know a guy. Do you want one? It's $1,200. And they're like, wow. I said, but that's basic. If you want like the fancy design painted on it, it's a couple $100 more. And like, dude, I started selling these crazy. And so I got the people that were in the scenic department that were working in the theater department, the students, to work for me. And we started building lofts, and we started installing them in dorms all over the place. And so I ended up putting up a flyer that had like my phone number, like, on the little tear off things on the bottom in all the dorms. And I got thrown out of the dorms for running a business out of my dorm.
Wow.
It didn't matter. We had built tons of these and kept going and going. At the end of that year, I got a phone call from one of the first couple people that bought it from me. And they were like, what do I do with this thing? We have to move out. I said, for $250, we'll come take it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have sold these. I should have rented these. And so what we did was we called everybody back because I had all their information, and we offered to take them out for $250. I got a storage unit. I put them all in there. And then the next year I went out and I rented them for the same amount of money for the year that I had sold them for previously. And so we got most of them back. Some people wanted to keep them, but most people were like, yeah, that's great. We don't know what to do with it. We're not even going to live in the dorms next year. So you take it. We're going to go to an apartment. And so we made over $1 million.
Wow.
And it was an accident, right? So this is what I want to say. I saw an opportunity for me. Like I did something that was a problem for me. And then people started to see it. And then I started to share what I was doing with other people that saw value in it, right? And so that's how you start a business.
Yeah.
But the same thing with the snow shoveling. I had to go do this. It was a problem. And I saw an opportunity. And I said, maybe other people want this. And I started asking them, do you want this?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. My first business here in property was out of this as well. I was out of the solving the problem for myself first, right? I was working here in London in a pub, right? And they pay very, very little. And when I saw my bill, I'm saying, okay, if these people pay me $1,000 and I saw my bill, I said, electricity this amount, food this amount, transport this amount. And then I saw rent, and rent it was like 700, and I'm like, wow, if I don't solve this problem, I won't be able to survive here in London. And then my whole goal was to have my rent for free. So we rent property, and then we managed to rent the room separate, and then my rent was free. And then I thought just your same thought process. Oh,
Right.
if I can get it for me, what can I get for other people? We end up selling 5 million in
Yeah.
this business. So
right, it's amazing. And so you can apply this
by accident, exactly like you said, by accident. Most of the entrepreneurs, we have the gene inside us. Don't get me wrong. There are two things, yeah. One somehow is building wild within you, right? When you were a kid, otherwise you won't start to. So there is something within you, right, that you want to live your life in a different way, and you want the best for your parents. But apart from that, when we are wired like that, as soon as we saw an opportunity, we take it, right?
Absolutely. And the thing that I want to say is, like, it doesn't have to be a problem that you solve for you. It has to be a problem that you solve for someone, right? And so you can find opportunities by really observing humans, right? And like, I love people watching. Like, when I'm sitting outside eating a meal or having a cocktail or something, I'm watching other people. I see what other people do. I see where their challenges are. With the snow shoveling, it was like, what do these people want? They don't want to go outside and shovel their snow. They want a clean driveway. They need a clean driveway, right? And so it was an easy sell to them. Is the pain, how much are they willing to pay to remove the pain, right? And so what I learned also is that you can raise your prices too based on certain things, right? And you want to be fair, but like, I was able to start charging way more than $10 for a driveway because we were able to get it done quickly, efficiently, and do a great job. And so I had a team of like 3 people out there. I charged $25 to clear their driveway. And then we set up like a membership subscription saying, hey, do you want us to just every time it snows, come and do your driveway? So I had to stop asking for it. We just knew what our route, right? And so, but that all came accidentally in the beginning. Then I started doing it intentionally, and intentionally wins, right? And so now with anybody that has a business, I want you to think about that customer, right? My whole world, when you think about theater, everything's designed for the audience, right? It's how does the audience see it, perceive it, experience it? And for all of us, we have 2 audiences, really. We have maybe 3. We have our customers, we have our employees, and we have our partners, right? And so those are 3 audiences that we have to design our experience, our journey, our operations around for those people. And so if you really think intentionally about your customers, what do they really want? They can't even tell you. They don't know. They have pain, they have frustration, they have things. And so we have to really go deep into understanding them and observing them and seeing where their pain points are. Where are they getting stuck? Where do they have friction in their way that's not allowing them to get to the ultimate results they want? Sometimes it might be that they don't even know what's possible. Like people that are teaching mindset and vision, they're helping people see a bigger vision. People that are helping people achieve those visions are seeing something different. And so depending on where your customers are, going deep and understanding them and what their challenges are gives you this massive opportunity as an entrepreneur to create value for people. And that's the name of the game. And so while I've done this in lots of businesses, it's always the same thing. You know, it's like, I've got to identify who do I want to serve and what do they most want and what do they need? And once I understand that clearly and I can test it and make sure that that's true, you can scale. And then you can find the ways to create leverage and make it more efficient and operational and so on and so forth. But it's exciting. And it's a model that just works every time when you go deep on understanding what those wants and needs are.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.